Welcome back to episode 3 of The Standard. I'm your host, Brock, and it just takes 2 seconds to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and it really helps us to be able to reach more people who are trying to pursue a higher standard. All right, so let's get into today's episode. So I've currently got 2 endurance events coming up that are all completely different. A third one, it may or may not be an endurance event, but I'm still going to talk about it. But they're all teaching me the same lesson. So what we're going to talk about today is the 4x4x48 challenge, Quanah Hill Massacre, and crewing at Leadville. And people always ask me, why would you willingly sign up for an ultramarathon? Why would you pay money to go suffer? And doing an ultramarathon just seems pretty freaking crazy. And why would you spend most of your time on the weekends and instead of sleeping or partying, why would you go and, run miles and miles and train? And the truth is, it's really not about running. It's about the kind of person who I'm becoming and choosing discipline over comfort that's molding me into the man that I want to be. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So first up, at the end of July, I've got the 4x4x48 challenge. This is where I'm going to do 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. There's a lot of different things that are going to start coming into play on this. This goes overnight. I'm having to deal with the lack of sleep, recovery, warming back up, my nutrition matters, my discipline matters. And this is different than an ultra, where I've got one race, I'm going out, I'm completing it. I'm doing this at my home. I'm doing this where I walk out of my house, I go and I run a 4-mile loop, come back, rest, recover, and get ready for the next round. And I'll be doing this for 2 days straight. It's a big effort because I'll be running 48 miles. However, over 2 days. And every 4th hour, I have to make that decision to get back out there and run again, no matter how tired I am. So I'm really pumped about it. What I'm going to be doing is I'll have several guys in my community, several guys that mean a lot to me, my brothers. We're going to go out and I'm going to interview them and ask them about their life. I'm going to ask them what's going on with them. I'm going to ask them how God's moving in their life. And it's not just going to be endurance related. It's going to be business related. It's going to be faith related. It's going to be entrepreneurship related. It's going to be all of it. I have a good mix of guys with some really cool stories that I want them to tell. So I will be posting every 4 hours and making a reel showing who I interviewed in that run, who ran with me, and I'll be producing a lot of content around this run, and I'm super excited for it. I'm excited to see how my channel's been growing. I'm excited to provide more value for the people who are watching my content, who are listening to this podcast. So it's been a really big learning curve for me with social media, with producing a podcast, with all of these things surrounding my goals, because they're just vehicles to help me get there. So 4x4x48, it's going to be epic. I hope you are here to watch it. The next thing we've got on the list is Quanah Hill Massacre. This is a 4.2 mile loop on the hour, every hour, until one person stands. And so if you don't meet the time requirement, if you don't get up out of your chair in time, if you just quit, whatever it may be, the last person standing is the winner. So I'm excited for it. It's going to be hot. It's at the end of August. It's at night and it's on the trail. So there's a lot of variables there, but I'm extremely pumped for it and really ready to tackle that one. The one thing I'm really working on right now is my speed, because in an ultra marathon, I'm able to rely on just the sheer fact of not giving up and moving forward. Well, at Quanah Hill Massacre, there's a speed element to it. If I'm not completing that loop in that hour, then I'm disqualified. I DNF. So it's not only a test of my endurance, but it's a test of how fast can I get this done and continue to do it. So I'm excited for this because this is exposing one of my weaknesses, and that's my speed. And I want my weaknesses exposed, because the more that they're exposed, the more I am able to get better and to continue to push myself. Because my weakness a year, 2 years ago was not being able to run. My weakness now is my speed. I can run, and I can run a long time, but it's just how fast am I running? The goal isn't comfort. The goal is growth. The goal is to be around people who have the same mindset, that are trying to achieve something, and that embrace the suck, that embrace the suffering. Because pain isn't always bad. Pain often teaches us what we need to know about ourselves. And I'm really excited to tackle this next event. So the third and final segment is crewing at Leadville. Most people think it's just like handing a water bottle. Say, hey, here's some nutrition, here's water. But in all reality, it's a lot more than that. It's making sure his nutrition's right, making sure his gear is ready if he needs to swap out, encouragement, time management, problem solving, reading Mike and seeing what he needs. A lot of this is going to be put more onto the shoulders of his wife, Jill, who is going to be the crew lead. I'm assuming we have our first meeting, I think next week, to kind of go over all of this. And so I'm going to be there for support however I can help. But I'm going into this and I'm hoping to learn a lot. I'm hoping to learn and see how these elite runners think, how they prepare, how they respond when body hurts. Because the people running at Leadville are the people who I want to surround myself with. Those are men and women who are disciplined, who are committed to their goals, and they don't give up. And sometimes the biggest lessons don't come from racing. Sometimes they come from serving someone while they chase their goal. And so I'm really excited. I'm really, really amped to be able to be there and to be around Mike and his crew and all the other people at Leadville. I'm just excited to be able to share in those moments with them, and the time and everything around it. So Mike has been a huge impact on my life and my ultra running, and he's been there for me a lot. And however I can serve him in this prep for Leadville, I will. And I'm just so stoked about it. So there's a saying, and my coach talks about it a lot. It's the 5 people who you surround yourself with, you will become the average. So if your 5 closest people around you are partying, doing drugs, not taking care of their body, terrible dads, whatever it may be. You can name a whole list of things. But you will become the average of that. And it goes on the flip side as well. If you're surrounding yourself with high achievers who are committed, who love the Lord and love their families and father well and run their business well, those are the people I want to be around. Those are the people who I want to be the average of, right? And going to Leadville is really going to put me around some of those people. This being in ultra running and working on becoming the best version of myself has really helped me to put me into that situation where the people I'm around isn't necessarily the party crowd. It's the business owners who are driven. It's the dads who are driven. It's the endurance athletes who are committed and disciplined. Those are the people I want to be around. If everyone around you settles, you will eventually settle as well. But if everyone around you is shooting for the moon and achieving their goals, you will do the same as well. So I just want to encourage you with that the people around you are very important because they speak life or death around who you are and who you want to be. So it's very important that you're careful who you let in your circle. Running isn't the point. Running is simply the classroom. The lessons are you keep your promises to yourself. You show up when you don't feel like it. You remain calm when life gets uncomfortable. You do difficult things consistently, and you become mentally resilient. Nobody's going to care if I run another ultra. My daughters won't remember any of my race times, but they'll remember the man I became because I choose to do the hard things. So I want to shift from endurance perspective to a more faith-based and biblical perspective and talk about suffering from a biblical perspective. Because hardship produces growth. And God rarely, if ever, allows us to grow in our comfort zone. Running has strengthened my faith because I realize my own limits. I learn dependence. I learn gratitude, and I learn humility. Over this past couple weeks, my wife's cousin Maggie, she's really been wanting to get into running. And so we've been talking back and forth about it. And she told me she was on her first run and she got to the end of her run and she didn't know if she could finish. And she started praying, Lord, just help me get to the end. And she did. And she told me that story, and I sat back and thought about it, and I thought about my endurance journey over the past year and a half. And it really opened my eyes to see when we manufacture this stress, when we put ourselves in this situation and it's hard and we don't know where to turn to, I turn to the Lord. I'm like, Lord, please help me get through this. Please help me finish this last mile. Please help me get back to the house. And that opens the door in prayer to a time that I would not be praying. So for example, in my training, if I'm up at 5 a.m., I'm out the door by 5:30, I go on an 8-mile run. Well, 2 years ago, I'd have been asleep. But now I'm out there running, lifting, swimming. And when it gets hard, I'm like, Lord, please help me. Please help me. So that is changed my relationship with Christ, because now I am praying every single day. And if there's one reason that you should get into running, it's because it will increase your spiritual life like you wouldn't believe. Because you start relying on the Lord in these times of pain and hurting and suffering, and you're like, Lord, please help me. So when you get into a hard time, you've manufactured the stress, you know how to deal with it. So when my wife and my daughter both went to the hospital, I was as cool as could be, because guess what? I've been manufacturing the stress for a year. And guess where I turn? I turn to the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And I start praying, Lord, please help me. Please help me. Same thing when my wife and daughter were in the hospital. You feel the stress overwhelming you and you feel helpless, but you turn to the Lord and you say, Lord, help me. Help me right now. Help guide me. Give me wisdom. Bless my family. So running is more than just a physical feat. It's an opportunity to speak to the Lord in suffering that you've manufactured. And now it's opened the door for you to be able to talk to him more. I think it's really cool. Next, I want to talk about balance, right? Because faith, family, fitness, entrepreneurship, the outdoors, I mean, it's a lot, right? But here are how my priorities go. Faith, first and foremost, then my family, then my health, then my work, and then my running. My training fits around my family and not the other way around. My daughters are only going to be this age once. And I want my daughters to remember me being a present dad, me being a dad that goes after my goals and achieves them. Or if he doesn't achieve them, he does everything in his power to reach that goal and never give up. I don't do these endurance for the medals, not for the buckles. I do it for myself to show that I keep my word. I stay healthy. I work hard. And I choose discipline every day. Maybe your thing isn't running. Maybe it's something else. I would venture to say that there's a very, very, very small percentage of the population that can't actually run, and that you're making an excuse why you can't run. There's a guy named Matt Egan who just competed in the BPN Go One More Backyard Ultra. He was a Marine vet, got blown up in Iraq, doesn't have legs, but still competed. He got in his wheelchair and did that 4.2 mile loop for I think 115 miles. So you can't tell me you have an excuse, because this dude doesn't have legs and he's doing these endurance races and he is changing the world because of his passion and his willingness to do hard things. So what's your hard thing? Is it getting healthy? Is it starting the business? Is it saving your marriage? Is it reading the Bible every morning? Is it waking up an hour earlier? Is it putting your phone down? Is it being present with your kids? Is it finally starting the thing that you've been wanting to start that you just keep putting off? The race doesn't matter. The hard things, the hard things don't even matter. But what matters is who you're becoming while you do it. So Thank you for spending your day with me. If this episode encouraged you, challenged you, make you think a little bit differently, I'd love if you'd share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. But until next time, keep pursuing the standard.